Happy Halloween! Oh, it's you! Well, please, come in, follow me. Oh, go on, you can sit down. You know, you came just in time to hear one of my ghoulish tales. Tonight's story involves a creature I'm sure you're most familiar with. It goes by many names. Lycanthrope, half human, half dog, but its most common being, werewolf. A human cursed with a faith worse than death, to be changed over moonlight. Get ready for the story of a lifetime.
Justice stars.
I ate a wild boar last night. Those things are huge.
In Nickelodeon's The Boy Who Cried Werewolf encore presentation, Sunday at 9 on Nicktoons.
Wait, so you're telling me I walked all the way out here just for you to play a movie? A kid's one at that? I also made those sugar cookies with Halloween pictures on them. Ugh, whatever, just play the movie. On October 23rd, 2010, Nickelodeon aired an original movie called The Boy Who Cried Werewolf. Not to be confused with The Boy Who Cried Werewolf that came out in 1973, and honestly scares me. Like, what the is this? Anyway, let me set the stage for you. We open the movie with older sister Jordan, played by Victoria Justice, who Nickelodeon I think was trying to push on a more project since a little show called Victorious came out earlier that March. Coming home and getting to the basement to turn on the switch in the breaker box since the lights won't turn on. And it looks like she found the right... When all of a sudden, her asshole little brother Hunter scares her. But you know what? He's 14. And all 14-year-olds are assholes, so I'll cut him some slack. But these two siblings belong to the Sands family, who are currently dealing with money problems and might have to sell their house, and are dealing with their mom, who died before the events of the movie. Which of course makes their dad Dave generic single guy who struggles to parent his two kids. I was gonna talk about the kids' school next, but it literally has nothing to do with the main story. All you have to know is Jordan is a nerd because glasses, allergies, and she struggles to make the soccer team. And has two mean girl bullies. And Hunter has two friends that are as annoying as him and who gets themselves in trouble. The Sands are about to have dinner that night when a mysterious fedora guy leaves an envelope on the family's doorstep which says that their great uncle Dragomir from their mom's side has passed and must go to Wolfsburg, Romania for the will reading and his manor that they left for him. Surprisingly, this is all real. And after arriving in Romania, Hunter gets into some stranger danger when a full-on adult tells him about Moonlight Manna, a festival that Wolfsburg puts on every year, which is to honor the beast who howls his warning for vampires to stay away from the town. Alright, cool dude, now back before I call the police. The family then get a taxi from some strange-looking dude who has a huge barking dog which Jordan is afraid of. And before Hunter gets in the taxi, he sees... gasp! Mysterious fedora guy! But no matter, because in a flash, the Sands are at Wolfsburg Manor. They walk inside and are greeted by the gorgeous, the show-stopping, mother-to-mother all mothers, caretaker Madame Varkulek. Where every time you say her name, it's followed by howls. She takes the family to their separate rooms and gives them one rule. Remain in your room at night and lock your door.
Actually, that's 2 rules.
You know what? You are really getting on my nerves, Hunter. And you know what? Of course you have the most annoying name. Hunter. Moving on. Each family member enters their room, and can we pause to admire the set design? Like, they were really doing something here. Anyways, the dad finds on his bedside table a tray of cookies with a lady's face on them, with a card attached saying Properties of Paulina, who's a local real estate agent. And you gotta really try your best not to overthink and add logic to this, which will be an ongoing battle throughout the movie, because first of all, how long were those cookies just sitting there? And second, they aren't wrapped or covered in anything, so they could very well be covered in dust or something else. And I bet they're dry as f***. It's the next day, and the family has breakfast with Madame V. After they decide to head into town to check it out, Madame V gives Jordan a list of things to get while they're out. In town, the dad separates from the kids to go on his own exploring to try to find that cookie lady, leaving the kids to go to the market, where we meet Goran the butcher, where Jordan totally thinks he's cute and stuff, but sigh, it could never work between them, for you see, Jordan is a vegan. Truly a modern version of Romeo and Juliet. How sad. The kids quickly finish up at the market and head back to the manor, where surprisingly Polly the cookie lady is there to see who now owns the famous Wolfsburg Manor, since, according to her, it's a big thing in the town. The dad of course invites the stranger inside, and Paulina asks the dad out for dinner, which of course he says yes to. Paulina also seems to know facts about the family that no one has told her, like the kids' names, and says while she's out at dinner with the dad, the fact that Hunter was very close to his mom. Very interesting. But David is thinking with the wrong type of head, and switches the convo to putting the manor on sale. We cut back to the kids in their rooms, FaceTiming with their friends back home. Jordan's friends are at a costume party, with their school's crush, and Hunter's friends are just talking about how cool it is that Hunter's in Wolfsburg, whatever. When all of a sudden, oh my god, the Wi-Fi goes out! So the kids go out and try to find the router to reset it. And shocker, it's in a secret room behind a bookcase which you can only use a TV remote to open. Which we all have, of course. Inside the room is filled with science equipment and other spooky ooky things. Hunter sees the router and fixes it, while Jordan sees a test tube with a label on it reading LB127. Even though 2 seconds ago she was telling Hunter not to touch anything. But Hunter, being the little shit he is, scares Jordan while she's still holding the tube, dropping it and shattering instantly. The kids are about to clean it up, when all of a sudden they hear Madame V walking towards the secret room, and in a panic they try to hide, Jordan stepping onto the broken test tube in the process. Ow! Thankfully the kids managed to hide before Madame V could notice them, and, we have to end the scene somehow, so CGI bat jump scare. The kids head back to Jordan's bedroom where Hunter helps pull out the glass stuck in her foot. And if this was any other company, I would have not even cared. But this is just a blatant reminder that this is from Nickelodeon. Like, I don't know, couldn't she have cut her hand on the glass while she was picking it up? That night, we see Jordan having trouble sleeping, with distant howls keeping her up. But surprisingly, the next morning, she says she slept like a dog. Wait a minute, did she mean log? And is now eyeing a tray of breakfast sausages. She even drools, gross, seeing everyone eat them, and has quick reflexes when Madame V drops a plate. Something's up. Dare I say, something's doggy. And it seems everyone else is picking up on it, except the dad, who is dumb. When everyone leaves Jordan alone in the dining room, we cut to Madame V entering, seeing only an empty tray and no Jordan. So, guess she's not vegan anymore. The kids go into town and Jordan continues to act strange, like touching Hunter's face, being overly positive, and smelling/hearing faraway things. She basically turned into a golden retriever. Dude, she even runs to a dog park and rolls in the grass, both of which she's allergic to, but now seem to not affect her. Jordan sees Goran across the park and she runs to him, and they added this swoop sound effect for when she jumps over a small bush. Like she did something she couldn't do before? While running towards Goran, he fell off his bike, so Jordan picked him up with ease off the ground. She then plans a date with him for that night, and when he rides away, she notices that she doesn't need her glasses anymore. So clearly something has changed within Jordan. We cut to her getting ready for her date, waxing her legs and such. But when she looks back, her leg hair magically grows in seconds, which freaks her out. Or how one might say she freaked the freak out.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Jordan then looks in the mirror, and her eyes shift to an icy blue color, but tries to play it cool when Hunter suddenly enters her room. But before Hunter can utter the word werewolf, we see what Paulina and David are up to, because I guess they're just dating now. Paulina is making cookies with her and David's face on them, which is like, did they have a photo shoot for this? Does Paulina always carry a frosting printer with her? Whatever. Madame V walks in on this cookie convo to remind us that she's and that bitch. which of course makes the Straits uneasy, so she walks away. David asks Paulina if she knows anything about Madame V, and Paulina says that there's a rumor that she might be the one who killed Uncle Dragomir, which doesn't really change David's opinion towards Madame V at all because, once again, David the dad is dumb. Anyway, let's see what Hunter's up to. Seems like he's talking to his friends about how he thinks Jordan is a werewolf, and they fully believe him, even telling Hunter that LB217 stands for lycanthrope blood, which is now in Jordan's system, and is one of the 3 ways you can turn into the creature. The friends ask where Jordan is now, Hunter saying that she went off with her date with Goran. They freak out, and tell Hunter that he needs to stop that date because Jordan is planning on eating Goran. So Hunter blindly trusts his friends and runs out of the manor and rides on his bike into town, where we see Jordan slow-mo walk up to meet Goran for their date, telling him that she's not the same girl from the market, being more confident than ever before, even saying that she can do things that she could have never done before, then randomly does a pole trick while having bad dubbing.
This is awesome!
Hunter catches up, seeing them, and stalks behind to see when Jordan will strike Goran. But all of a sudden, random Fedora guy jump scares him in the alley and tells Hunter that he needs to prepare because they will come for him. And just sort of walks away. After that strange interaction, Hunter realizes that he lost Jordan, but then sees her shadow and thinks she's about to eat Goran. So Hunter runs and yells for Jordan to stop, but turns out the two are just about to have a romantic moment, which makes Jordan real mad that he ruined her date. So mad that she says that he's in big trouble, while her eyes flash that icy blue color from before. Then she jumps away on rooftops, making Goran very confused, and Hunter peeing his pants in fear. Hunter surprisingly goes back to the manor and into Jordan's room, which is void of light. Trying to be supportive, Hunter says that she needs help. No duh. All he hears back is growling and panting. Hunter says that he's going to tell their dad of her condition, but then Jordan reveals herself, and while thrashing her head around, slowly transforms, with some actually pretty cool effects. Jordan then looks at Hunter, only telling him to run, which of course he does, and as he goes into the hallway, Jordan is full-on werewolf, but runs away from Hunter and breaks through the window into the night. Now it's the morning, and everyone is eating breakfast except Jordan. David the dad says he heard a lot of howling last night, and the kids put on their best please move on to another topic face, which the dad notices and brings up how Paulina is going to help him sell the manor, which makes Madame V upset and storms outside with the dad following her. He says that he can find somewhere else for Madame V to live, but she shuts that shit down real quick by saying the manor is all she's ever known. She also tells the dad not to sell the manor because there is a darkness, and the manor cannot fall into the wrong hands. Cut back to the kids, and Jordan somehow is blaming Hunter on why she's a furry now. And for once, I'm actually backing up Hunter, because he didn't really do shit. She was the one touching stuff in the secret room. But anyways, Jordan worries about how next time she turns is scared she might hurt Hunter or their dad, which leads to them having a sweet sibling moment for once, where Hunter says that he'll be there to help Jordan, and that they'll find a way to fix this curse. And you might think, maybe the kids might go to Madame V, who knows of the secret room, and might know of werewolves since she's a local, and knows the manor, but they don't for some reason. The kids instead try to get advice from Hunter's friends, who try to convince Hunter to shoot his sister with a silver bullet, because apparently that's the only way to deal with the problem. Obviously he doesn't want to do that, and plus Jordan is standing right next to him when the friends say that. But the friends tell them that after a full moon, which is happening that night, Jordan will be a werewolf forever, without any way of undoing it. Jordan leaves to try and find a way to be human on her own, which transitions into a sad pop song sung by Victoria Justice herself. While Jordan is angsting, Hunter decides to go back to the secret room, trying to find anything to help Jordan, but Madame V catches him in there and tells Hunter that she knows Jordan is a werewolf, because she's lived with one her whole life. It's revealed that Uncle Dragomir was a werewolf, and the Wolfsburg Beast. Dragomir also was an inventor who invented karaoke, which you better remember that fact for later, and a scientist who created a way to reverse the werewolf curse, but Madame V does not know where it is. We cut back to Jordan, and it seems like all that brooding led her to a cemetery at Uncle Dragomir's tombstone, where text suddenly reveals to her on it, and immediately calls Hunter to come to her. Hunter and Madame V meet with Jordan, but it seems that only the kids can see the text on the tombstone, so they read out loud the foreign text for Madame V, who realizes it's an ingredients list for the cure to turn human. Luckily, they can get all of the ingredients at the market, except for LB217. Madame V dumps some massive lore on us, that vampires are actually real and really evil, and only want to rule the world and kill all humans. But the werewolves have always stopped them. But since Dragomir was the last werewolf protecting the town for them, the vampires could see this as an opportunity to try and take over again. The only way to stop the vampires would be a bloodline werewolf, aka a pure werewolf. But we will soon see that that shit doesn't really matter. As soon as Madame V says that, Hunter starts to feel a little woozy. But there's no time for that, as all three of them go to the market to pick up the ingredients for the cure for Jordan. At the market, we get some iconic mother behavior from Madame V, because we find out that she's a Britney Spears fan, okay, and has Hit Me Baby One More Time as her ringtone. I mean, a mother's gotta do what a mother's gotta do. While they're in the market, Jordan starts to transform, so Madame V tells the kids to get a cab to the manor and wait for her there. The kids walk out of the market and suddenly run into Paulina, who conveniently offers them a ride since she was already going to pick up their dad for a date. The kids accept the ride, with Jordan slowly turning and trying to hide it from Paulina, even though I feel like she should have just sat in the back with Hunter, but whatever. Paulina low-key makes some weird small talk when all of a sudden her car dies and she goes out to fix it. While she does that, vampires start to surround the car. The kids get out to warn her, but turns out Paulina is the big bad vampire and was the person who killed Uncle Dragomir. Gasp! What a twist. Vampire minions then throw the kids in the taxi from the beginning of the movie, and on the drive to the vampire's base, Jordan and Hunter make a plan, so when the vamps finally open the trunk, Jordan is full-on werewolf and attacks them so Hunter can escape to get some help. We cut to the dad and Paulina out on their date, where we find out that Paulina bought the manor, and gets kind of emotional, like Girlie is so proud that she's about to rule the world. Honestly, such a girl boss. Hunter finds them in the restaurant and yells at Paulina and tries to tell his dad that she's an evil vampire, but the dad, who clearly sees his son in some type of distress, is just embarrassed. And the dad takes Hunter outside and gets upset since he caused a scene. Hunter then pulls out the "if mom was here, she'd understand," and then runs away to go help Jordan and find her, but the dad follows him. They both end up at Paulina's real estate office building, where they see Paulina. Holy crap, I guess she's also a track star, because how the hell did she also manage an outfit change and to say evil dialogue while making a silver bullet with Jordan tied up? In the midst of this, Hunter and David the dad are caught and tied up by vampire minions. And since they're all tied up, the dad starts apologizing to his kids, while Paulina is there mocking him and being all evil and blah blah blah. All of a sudden, Hunter looks up at the moon and starts to act weird because it turns out that he's the family bloodline werewolf and transforms. Paulina and her entourage run away while Were Jordan and Were Hunter break away from their chains and free their dad. The dad then does a cute little group huddle, like how you would see a little league team, by telling Hunter to stay here and fight vampires while he takes Jordan back to Madame V. Both kids howl after the dad says her name, which is a pretty cute detail. Hunter and Paulina fight, but then he gets outnumbered with vampires once again chaining him down. He howls, which I guess is like a cry for help, because Jordan comes running back to him. Ensue more werewolf and vampire fighting. While fighting, we see the sun start to rise up, Jordan throwing a few vamps into the sunlight and then bursting into ash. She also turns half human, half wolf to chuck Paulina away from Hunter and into the sunlight, which makes her blow up, but not before saying the cheesiest one-liner.
Relax, Paulina. You'll just feel a little pinch. Toodles!
Then proceeding to walk away in slow-mo. And if you're gonna go cheese, go all out Gouda. Like, how about saying, your cookies just turned sour. Oh, okay. Or what about, real life gusher say what? It cuts to the kids back at the manor where Madame V extracts blood from Hunter, which finishes the cure for Jordan, who is now human again. Or is she? And then, like, out of freaking nowhere, mysterious fedora guy just shows up to give the family a paper that makes Wolfsburg Manor theirs again, and gives them a fat check that Dragomir left them that he got from making karaoke. Thank you, Uncle Dragomir, for this new fit and this new boat. But since the manor is theirs again, Madame V isn't gonna go homeless now. And when you say her name, it's followed by birds chirping. We cut to Goran and Jordan wrapping up their side love story, while Hunter howls at the Moonlight Mania Festival, scaring vampires away from Wolfsburg. The family go back to America, where Jordan is back to school, but now with her newfound confidence, and also Goran goes to school with her. Yeah, sure, whatever, it's the end of the movie, I don't care. We all see the family at home, getting ready to go out and watch a horror movie together, and when they drive off, we see Paulina moving in across the street, which is very sequel bait. But the end credits roll away, while the cast do karaoke to Britney Spears' Baby One More Time. And that, my candy corn witches, was The Boy Who Cried Werewolf. And I'm gonna be honest, I kinda love this movie. It's also kind of the nostalgia talking. Yeah, the acting isn't the best. I would only say that Jordan, Paulina, and Madam V had the best performances, which should come with no shock, because Madam V is played by freaking Brooke Shields, which of course I must stand by as a fellow Brooke. And the practical effects are pretty good. Like when Jordan is half transformed, it looks pretty sick, which also shouldn't be a surprise when I found out that KNB was the one behind them. And for those of you who don't know, they've worked on stuff like Spy Kids, The Walking Dead TV show, and The Amazing Spider-Man, and much, much more. Now, if you could just take a walk with me, just about here. There are a few issues, aka me just ranting about certain things I have with this movie. One big one being Hunter's friends are so annoying. And I get that teen boy's essence is just being annoying, but I just don't know why Hunter keeps going back to them for advice when they were wrong about how Jordan would eat Goran and fully just told Hunter to shoot his own sister while she was in the room. Like, those friends are such a bad influence. Maybe that's why in the beginning of the movie, Hunter was as annoying as them, and so the longer he's away from them, the better. Since we're on the topic of Hunter, his dad was just way too chill about the fact that Hunter is a werewolf, like, forever. The dad just fully leaves him to fight full-ass adults that plan on killing him, even though he's been a werewolf for about 2.8 seconds. Also, when they go back home, how is the family gonna deal with Hunter when he turns? Like, are they just gonna lock him in the basement, Buffy style? Whew! Now that I got that out of my system. Hey, did you know that Victoria Justice actually made a video diary series while making this movie? There were only 14 episodes lasting no longer than 5 minutes, and were uploaded before the movie even premiered, that you could still watch on YouTube. Episode 6 being the most viewed of all, just because Beck from Victorious is awkwardly sitting in the background. My favorite being episode 9, just because Victoria just shows some of her actual art from her art class. Like, oh my god, she's coming for my gig! But in these short videos, she mainly talks about scenes she had just got back from, and how lovely the cast and crew are, which is nice to hear that she had a positive time on set. Okay, but enough with the side tangents. I think this is a perfect scary movie for kids and tweens, and yeah, it's sloppy in some areas, and it's stupid in others, but it's still very entertaining. And what is Halloween if not just a little tacky and stupid? If you're an adult, I definitely recommend watching this with a group of friends this Halloween season. Well, that's all I've got for you this time, my pretties. Hope you have a safe and happy Halloween. Until next time.